Dr. Banda was one of my students. I think you must have missed one of my lectures. I can't remember how good your attendance was.
I hope that Senior State Council Sangwa will also not say I missed one of his classes, because part of what I will use are his notes.
What's up? My name is Ken Dumbo, the MC with the sauce. Don't forget to subscribe to JQ.
Before I come, Dr. Kab, indulge me for a moment Dr. Banda was one of my students. I think you must have missed one of my lectures. I can't remember how good your attendance was. Here is my take. Guys, we don't need reform of the Constitution. We don't. There are priorities. There are bigger challenges. This is a luxury. Okay? First, no constitution in the world is perfect. You can never have a perfect constitution. And that is why the Constitution itself says, if there is a problem, you go to the Constitutional Court, and the Constitutional Court will guide. Okay? So by that definition, by that provision, there is an acknowledgement that the Constitution is imperfect. Okay? Because if it was perfect, there would have been no need for the Constitutional Court. Okay, so there is already an inbuilt mechanism to sort out its imperfections. For example, when we went to do with the issue of the 2016 election, okay, we went to court, and the court finally guided to say, well, you know what, a petition must be concluded within 14 days. We were guided, and later on the Chief Justice issued a statutory instrument that now addresses how election petition ought to be conducted. That is how you build on the law. How many times have seen your own foundation of your homes looked at every year? Who looks at the foundation of his house every year? Who does? Huh? Tell me. That is what the Constitution is. You only look at the Constitution when you see cracks. Isn't that what we do? Our homes, when we see that walls are cracking, that's when we call people to say, can you shore up the foundation, isn't it? So, the same with the Constitution. You must be able to point to some cracks, some problems which threaten the very existence of the country. Okay? Just like a foundation for your house. When you see cracks, you know that the entire superstructure, that whatever is on top, what do? Is in danger. Okay? That's when you bring in people. You don't do that every year. You don't. Every 5 years, we don't. So why should we be doing that to the Constitution? Okay? So no Constitution is ever perfect, and I'm sorry I disagree with Dr. Banda here. We do not need it. Okay? Also remember, historically, previous presidents have had reasons. Yeah, okay, it's a long history, starting way back in 1991. Dr. Banda, you should know this. There's been a historical justification. That chapter closed in 2016. That chapter closed. We went to a referendum. We decided to say we will bring in a new constitution in 2 phases. The first one to deal with provisions that did not require a referendum, and the other one required a referendum. The other one passed. It was a compromise between UPND and PF. They framed the Constitution as they did. When we took it to a referendum for the Bill of Rights, that referendum failed to pass. That too was people's choice that we must respect. That chapter is over. This government has no reason to start tinkering at the Constitution. Okay? So that is my point. You do not need. We have to give it time. How will it work? Like I've said, there are so many provisions that have not yet been actuated. Okay? So, in fact, we have to carry out civic education. How many of our people anyway even know the Constitution? Okay? Now, if you change it every day, where will the people find the time? Why should I even read it if I know that it will be changed next year? Huh? Who's going to read it? I won't read it because I'm waiting for the change. Right now, people have stopped reading. They're simply waiting whether Bill 7 will go through or not so that they can read it. No, we put a stop to that and we move on. Okay? We don't need it. Somebody talked about deferment. Listen, deferment is not a withdrawal. Okay? When you look at Standing Order 121 and 122, it clearly states that a bill that has been deferred, it can be brought back within 6 months. Only after 6 months, it is deemed to have been withdrawn. So between now and the 6 months, by December, they can bring it back. Okay, that is the position. So my position is that you don't need it. You don't need it. And there's been this notion of saying, oh, non-contentious issues. Who said that? What standard, what test did you use to determine whether something is non-contentious or not contentious? Who made such a determination? What formula did the people use to arrive at those provisions? Okay? Now, this is a very important question that you have posed. What do we do going forward? You are right. It's easy to criticize. Okay? It's easy to point out about all these things. The question is, what do we need to do? Right? The first stop, the beginning, we need a collective acknowledgement that Zambia is in trouble. Okay? Each and every one of us, we're not pointing fingers, right? Just acknowledge the fact that we've messed up. Now, we don't have to blame the colonialist 60 years after independence. Okay, we don't. We take full responsibility. Do you know what independence means? Independence means you are responsible for your own destiny. Nobody will bail you out to get into trouble. Okay? So we cried for independence in 1964. What we are saying is that we are on our own and we have screwed up on our own collectively over the last 60 years. There is a saying, if you didn't cause it, you can't control it, you can't cure it. We Zambians caused this mess we are in. Therefore, only we can control it and can cure it. But we begin by acknowledging we are in trouble as a country. Okay? Then we should have a discussion, how do we get out of it? You cannot blame the colonialists for the theft of public resources to the point whereby you are even stealing ARVs. Who does that? Eh? Who does that? That's a sickness, it's a disease.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kava. I hope that Senior State Council Sangwa will also not say I missed one of his classes. Because part of what I will use are his notes. Yes. The revised one. First of all, I want to commend the team for their submission. Divergent views are healthy in any democracy. And in a democracy, we have to agree to disagree. When they disagree with us, they should also accept when we disagree with them. I find it a bit weird when we have a lawyer attacking provisions that are statute bound. What am I talking about? Article 58, sub-article 5 of the Constitution of Zambia provides, and I read, the Electoral Commission shall at intervals of not more than 10 years review the names and boundaries of constituencies and wards. End of quote. I wish to submit on this score that the idea to propose in the bill to change the complexion and structure of the constituency is not a suggestion. It is a constitutional provision. I want further to mention that, having said that, one of the key issues that I learned from Senior State Counsel Sangwa, who was also one of the lead lawyers in the case that Madam Linda Kasonde referred to. I was in the chamber with him. I was actually filing in for them. One of the key issues that he normally talked about was that you have to come up with a constitution that stands the test of time. Doc, I'm sure you remember, that's part of his words. Secondly, there are different approaches to making the Constitution. Constituent Assembly, amendments are one of them. And never in his lecture did he ever tell us that amending a Constitution is not a priority. But that, I'm coming. I'm coming. But, no, I'm making a comment. So it's a conversation. It's dialogue. Huh? So dialogue is not about questions only. It's about comments also. So my submission is that, unless you want to come and edit my speech, allow me to speak, because that's what democracy entails. Okay. So that's part of the problem that we have, Dr. Kava. So the other point that I want to bring out is that one of the attributes of a good legal system is that laws must change according to the changing society. And the people themselves have the power to change the Constitution. Now, Article 61 of the Constitution provides that legislative powers are derived from the people. But the next article, 62, they vest those powers in Parliament. Through their submissions, none of them has told me which clause in the Constitution
know
has
what
been
you
breached.
think about this video. Thanks for
Insofar
tuning
as
in to
this
JQ
proposed
News.
bill is
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on tech, politics, and everything in between. Until next time, stay cool.